Hi everyone, I'm here to talk to you about the homework for the weekend. You remember in class that I told you that we will be watching the video called The Habits of Happiness. You see it on the screen. And I mentioned in class that the speaker, whose last name is Ricard, has an accent. He's a Buddhist monk, as you can see from the introduction to the video right here, and his last name suggests he's not from Nepal. I think I was mistaken in saying this in class. It seems that he might be French or have some French in him, and based on his accent you will hear perhaps that is so. But the reason I mention the accent is to remind you also that it might be difficult to understand some of his words in English since he does have an accent. However, he speaks very slowly. His pace is actually very nice. So I think you will be able to follow, as you're listening, how to be able to follow what he is saying about the importance of happiness and how do we find it. So the other thing I want to remind you is after you click play to start the video, if you would like to read along with the video, you can click on this part, transcript, and every sentence and every phrase that he says will be highlighted in blue. So you can follow the transcript all the way down. And you can even go back and use the transcript to help yourself to understand what he said. So I'm excited about this video because I think it relates to what we were talking about last night, about things that are true and not true about American people and American culture. And I am going to ask you in class on Monday to learn some note-taking skills. We will teach something called, I will teach you something called Cornell Notes. We will use the video to practice Cornell Notes in class, and then we will discuss the video. And I'm interested in knowing what you think about the speaker, Ricard's idea about how to find happiness, how to achieve it. And I also wonder, since we were introduced to your cultures on Monday night in your presentations, I also wonder if you think there is something in your culture that would help Americans or any people in any culture that seem to struggle with happiness. What do you think from your culture you could recommend to help people to find happiness? Is there a practice that the people in your country use? Is there a way of thinking that you think is more effective or better, a better way of thinking than some other cultures? And the comparison isn't to say one culture is better than the other culture, just that we can learn so much from each other by sharing how we live in different places and how we can make our lives just a little bit different to make our lives happier and more fulfilling. So I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say about that on Monday, and I will probably ask everyone to share a little bit about their thoughts about, either agreeing or disagreeing with Ricard, or maybe finding examples in your own country where you think happiness is easier to achieve because the people in your country or in your city or in your culture live a certain way that helps them to be happier and more fulfilled. Okay, so I will talk to you on Monday night. If you have questions, please email me, and I hope you have a great weekend.